Hi everyone. So welcome to the class of text analysis. As we were discussing in the last lecture about sentiment analysis, with the help of NRC Lexicon, right? So we introduced ourselves to the NRC Lexicon and we tried to learn about it. So we realized that NRC Lexicon is a list of sentiments, is a list of words which helps to analyze all the text that you have into basically 8 emotions and 2 sentiments, right. So these 8 emotions could be, for example, like anger, anticipation, trust. So these are some of the happiness or happy, whatever. So these are the 8 emotions we were talking about, and then we had 2 sentiments, which is basically the positive and negative sentiment. And this NRC lexicon was built at the MIT, right, which has a tremendous use. For example, when you are talking about sentiment analysis, so this helps you to understand what is the emotion behind the text. For example, you have a document in which lots of lines or words or sentences are written. So finally, if you want to analyze this, whether it is a joyful sentence, it's a happy oriented sentence, it's a sad oriented sentence, or what is the main theme of the document, that can be understood better with this NRC lexicon, right. So we also introduced about this, and then we today what we will do is we will try to see how this application of NRC lexicon is done with the help of Python, right. So today our job is to, if you remember, we had done some kind of pre-processing, and we had made a file called the TA2 file, right. So we will be working together today on those and that file, right, and trying to run the sentiment analysis, right, with the help of this NRC lexicon, right. So let us start the sentiment analysis with using this NRC lexicon. So to start with, we will go for first installing the package, right, which is the, we said, pip install NRC LEX. Okay. Now this is a library which is very useful because it provides access to the NRC emotion lexicon, right, and it is a comprehensive list of words. This lexicon is a comprehensive list of words associated, as I said, with this 8 basic emotions like anger, fear, anticipation, trust, surprise, sadness, joy and disgust. And 2 sentiments are there, one is positive and the negative sentiments. This library, NRC LEX library, actually simplifies the process of analyzing the text for emotional content by providing a straightforward interface to access this lexicon. So it becomes very simpler for anyone to make a sentiment analysis, because this it has been already developed for that purpose. Okay. Now the main purpose of this installing this NRC LEX is first to get, as I said, access to the NRC lexicon, emotional lexicon. So it has contains over 14,000 words. I think it is not even 14,000, much more than 14,000 words, each annotated with the emotions and sentiments they evoke. Okay. So what kind of emotions they are showing or depicting, that is very clearly then you can understand. Second is automated lexicon fetching. So instead of manually downloading and parsing the lexicon, NRC LEX automatically fetches and processes the lexicon for you. So this saves time and ensures that you are always working with the most up to date version of the lexicon. The third thing it does is it simplifies the text analysis. So this library provides functions to easily analyze the text and extract the emotion and the sentiment behind it. Okay. So this makes tasks such as sentiment analysis, emotion detection and psychological text analysis much easy and in a very effective manner. Okay. So now let us go, after we have installed this library, now we will write the first code. Okay. So import pandas as PD. So the first code we are writing is import pandas as PD. Okay. Now what is this pandas? As I have already said, pandas is a powerful open source library, Python library, designed for data manipulation and analysis. So it provides data structures and functions that make working with the structured data, like you have your tables, time series data and data sets, very fast, easy and easy to work. Okay. So Panda is usually used, widely used in data science, machine learning and data analysis type of work. What does import Panda as PD do? Now when you write this code, import pandas as PD, so what it does is this imports the entire pandas library into your Python environment. making all its classes, functions and methods available for use. This is the first thing. As PD, this aligns, and in a short form, because always all the time writing pandas is a very is unnecessary repetition. So, to a short form has been developed, which is the PD. Okay. So, instead of typing pandas every time, if you want to write pandas function, we can simply say PD, right. The next line of code that we will write is from NRC LEX import NRC LEX, right. Now, what does this NRC LEX import do, right. Now, this specifies the module from which you want to import something. So, what it does, basically which module you require of the NRC LEX. So, that is, it helps you to import, right. This imports the NRC LEX class from the NRC LEX module, right. So, this class is the main tool for performing the emotion and sentiment analysis. So, here we will write our code, which is df is equal to pd dot read underscore excel. Now, what is ta2? ta2 is our file, right. So, ta2 dot xlsx and a sheet name is sheet 1. Okay. So, now when we break down the line df is equal to pd dot read this entire code, right. So, what is this? Let us understand it. So, PD, this refers to the pandas library. So, we have already understood it. Read underscore excel, this is the pandas function used to read the data from the excel file. So, the machine will be has to be told, right. So, it will read the data from the excel file. TA2 is the file path to the excel file we want to read. So, this is the name we had given if during pre-processing, if you remember. So, we want that this file should be used. Then we have sheet underscore name, which is sheet 1. This specifies the sheet in the Excel sheet to read. Now, in an Excel sheet, if you see, there can be several sheets, right, sheet 1, sheet 2, you may make several number of sheets as per your requirement. So, which sheet are you talking about? So, that is also you have to mention, because otherwise the computer may not understand, there might be several Excel sheets. So, which Excel sheet are you talking about? Here we are talking about the sheet 1, right. So, if you do not have anything also, it will default is sheet 1 only. Then df, this is the variable that stores the data frame created by pd.read underscore excel. This variable is used to perform operations on the data such as filtering, analyzing or visualizing, right. Then we go to the code def get underscore nrc underscore sentiment in bracket text, okay, and then emotion is equal to nrc lex text. So, and then return emotion dot raw underscore emotion underscore scores. Now, these are the codes now which will help us to understand better. Now, the code starts by defining a function called get underscore nrc underscore sentiment. So, as you can see the first one, right. This function takes one input, which is text. This text is the piece of writing we want to analyze, because here for sentiment analysis our data is a piece of text only, right. Then it creates an NRC LEX object. So, inside the function we create an object called emotion using the NRC LEX class, and this object is initialized with the text we passed to the function. Okay. This step can be thought of as a preparation for the text analysis. Okay. So, you just imagine this as a preparation. So, you are preparing for the text analysis. This tool will process the text and identify the words that are linked to the specific emotions, as we said, the 8 emotions. Okay. After that, what is the next job? Extracting emotion scores. So, once you have created the object, then we have to extract the emotion scores. So, we access the raw underscore emotion underscore scores attribute of the emotion object. Now, this contains a dictionary. So, obviously, we know the NRC lexicon contains a dictionary of lot of words, right, 14,000, 15,000 words. So, where each key is an emotion like joy, anger or fear. So, whatever word you are talking about, that has to be classified among these 8 emotions. Okay. And the value is then calculated, which is nothing but a score representing how many words in the text are associated with that emotion. For example, how many words are associated with sadness, how many words are associated with trust. So, that score we will develop here. Then it returns the result to us. So, finally, the function returns this dictionary of emotion scores. So, what it means? You when you call the function, it will give you a breakdown of the emotions detected in the text. Now, what is the code we are writing? Now, this is the code df, so bracket NRC underscore sentiment. So, this entire code. Okay. So, when you write df this pre-processed, so it selects the column that contains the clean text. So, we remember that. So, we our pre-processed file, then that dot as type. So, it ensures that all the data in the column is treated as text. Okay. So, str means string. So, string means either you have numerics or strings, maybe other types are also there, but generally when we say string str, it is the basically the text documents, okay, or the text data. Then we say dot apply, right. So, it applies the get underscore NRC underscore sentiment function to each row in the pre-processed column. So, it tries to get into the each row in the pre-processed column. A new column then is created, which is called NRC underscore sentiment, right, and there all the sentiments codes are stored. Okay. So, the next code we will talk about is print comma df. So, pre-process this entire code, right. So, now df pre-processed comma NRC sentiment, this selects the columns pre-processed and NRC sentiment from the data frame df. So, the data frame we are writing it as df. Okay. Dot head, this limits the output to the first 10 rows of the selected columns. You can change it if you want, you can even change it, it is not mandatory, right. So, you can make it more or less, it depends on your choice. Print, this prints the result to the console. Then the next line of code is df data frame to Excel, right. So, it saves here what we are doing is, now if you write this code, this entire code, it saves the updated data frame to a new Excel file, right, and index is equal to false, index is equal to false. It prevents the pandas from adding an extra index column. Okay. So, what has happened now? So, finally, we have performed the sentiment analysis using NRC Lexicon and we can see the result also. So, now let us look at the result. Okay. How the result would look like. So, if you see this file, right, if you see this file and let us see, let us arrange it. So, first we have our comments, then we have our cleaned comments, then the processed comments, and then you see this is what we are talking about, the NRC sentiment. Okay. So, here we have for each line, each sentence, right. So, there is a, now the if you can see for the first line for example, how many anticipation? Now 1, positive 1, anger 1. So, we have 1 1 1, you know, this is a frequency basically, right. So, in the second line, I love the wonderment in green size. So, it has nothing. So, it is a blank, right. So, if you can see the processed comments, so it is blank. So, that is why the NRC sentiment is also blank. The third one is TED talk. Now, it has only taken one sentiment, the positive sentiment, and that is shown as once. Okay. So, you can look at the entire, you know, some more lines also, many more lines. So, for example, let us see this one. So, let us look at the processed comment. So, the just adjacent one. So, it says pay alarm, stay quiet, home, rather spread Russian oil, misinform. Now, from this line, what is happening? The NRC sentiment is saying, and there is one, you know, anticipation, one joy. There are two positives, one trust, fear 1, negative 1, surprise 1 and sad 1. Okay. So, this is something like it tells us the this NRC sentiments gives us a number of, you know, the frequency of this emotions and sentiments basically. Okay. So, now you see this NRC sentiment has given you the scores of these emotions and sentiments. So, if you want to make an average score or something, you can easily do it. For example, let us take this one, right. So, if I want to find out what is the value of each emotion in total in comparison to the total, then for example, there are 8 positives, 4 joy, 1 surprise, 2 trust, 1 anger, right, because that is the emotions, negative is sentiment. So, what it is now? So, 8 plus 4 12 plus 4 16 17 18 19 and 20. So, what is the total number of emotions? 20. So, now as you have the NRC sentiment scores, right. So, what you can do is you can find out the percentage also in response to all the emotions for what is the total percentage of a particular emotion. So, you can find the ratio. So, for example, let us say take any value. Now, in this one, so we have trust is there are 3 for trust, anticipation 2, joy 2, positive 2, fear 1. So, sometimes you can add both, but generally what I do is I take the emotions only on one side and I add up the emotion scores. For example, there are 3 for trust, 2 for anticipation, 3 plus 2 5, joy 2 7, and fear is 1 8, right. So, I can say 3 by 8. So, trust is 3 by 8, anticipation is 2 by 8, joy is 2 by 8, fear is 1 by 8. Suppose sometimes if depends on your objective, sometimes you can say it is 10 also. So, 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 7 plus positive 2, because positive is a sentiment, some people add it, some do not, some do not like to add it. So, and then you have 1, right, for fear. So, 10, if it is total is 10, so I can say now trust is 3 out of 10, anticipation 2 out of 10, joy 2 out of 10, positive 2 out of 10, fear is 1 out of 10. So, with this it gives you a clear picture what is the major point in the text, right. Is it more of a trust based text, is it more of anticipation based text, or what it is basically, right. So, I hope you are clear with the NRC lexicon and what is the use of it and how you can use it for sentiment analysis. So, with this I will wind up today's lecture and we will meet in the next lecture. So, till then take care and thank you very much.